Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing? I hope you are well. This is a surprise live just to catch up a little bit, see how you're doing, and tell you about exciting things that I have to share with you today. So I'm going to wait a minute or two until everyone gets the notification and joins the live. In the meantime, say hi in the comments and let me know where you are watching this from. Um, and let me see. Okay, yeah, now I can start seeing you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm happy that you're here. I'm Hadar. For those of you who don't know me, I hope you know me because if you're on my channel, maybe you already do. And I'm a fluency and pronunciation coach. And recently, I've slightly transitioned into a confidence coach as well. So we're going to talk all about that today. Okay, now I'm seeing people. Hello. So let me know. Okay, we have Umar from Abu Dhabi, Haval from Kurdistan. Hello. Yeah, so let me know where you're from. This is an incredible moment. Like, I love those moments during the beginning of a live where we get to connect and all of you just share where you're from. And I get all excited about being able to be at the same place and so many people around in so many places around the world. Okay, so I'm going to start by saying that in this live, I am going to introduce you to something new that we have recently created. We've worked on it for several months. And it's a new mini course, mini training for 30 days called My English Mindset. And that program is going to be pretty different from everything that you've seen in the English learning uh, environment because it's not about English and it's all about English. It's not about language learning and it's all about language learning. And I'm going to tell you what that is in a second. But before that, um, who here has done or has worked on their mindset in the past? Mindset is the way you see the world, the thoughts that you have about the world, the how you perceive the world, your attitude to the world, your attitude towards the things that happen to you, and basically the thoughts that you have in your head um, in every part of your day. So if this concept is new to you, let me know in the chat. Let me know. Okay. And if you have done mindset work in the past, let me know as well. So, My English Mindset is a 30-day program designed to help you build a healthy and powerful mindset in English. The idea is that when you speak English, there are a lot of things that stop you from feeling confident, feeling fluent, feeling clear when communicating. And it has nothing to do with your pronunciation or grammar. And I'm going to give you an example. How many times have you experienced a situation where you felt, you know, you felt this sense of flow and that you are communicating and that you are somewhat even happy with your English. And then the next day, you feel stuck. You feel like you cannot communicate yourself clearly. You feel like things are getting in your way. You feel anxious. Has that ever happened to you? Put yes in the comments um, if that has been the case for you, where one day you feel fluent and the next day everything goes wrong and you feel stuck and you feel like you will never ever advance. Even though you know you will, the feeling is like, why can't I get it? And there are some people where you feel confident speaking with, and then maybe other people where you're less confident speaking with. Why is that? And does it have anything to do with your English, with your level of English, with your vocabulary, with your grammar, with your pronunciation? Now, of course, when you develop all that, and you know me, I'm passionate about that as well. And I think that is important. Sometimes it is not enough. Sometimes you can work on all of those aspects and still feel that you're not progressing and still feel like something is holding you back. And if that is the case, it's time for you to start exploring what is going on in your head and in your heart when speaking in English. Because think about it. When we communicate in English, it's not just, producing the language. There are a lot of thoughts that are involved in the process of producing a language before speaking. Should I say something? Should I not say something? What should I say? Should I interrupt? How should I interrupt? So, a lot of thinking that is happening, and then a lot of opinions in your head. No, don't say anything. You're going to sound stupid. They're not going to understand you. What if they respond and you don't understand them, right? A lot of thoughts, like you have a conversation with a bunch of people in your head before even saying a sentence, even if it's just in the supermarket or with a friend online. So there is that. And do you think that all of that is happening in your head, especially if it's not a positive conversation, right? If like you're second guessing yourself and you are doubting and you're resisting, should I not? No, why should you do it? It is not helping your fluency. And it doesn't matter how well you know grammar or how great your pronunciation is. If you have that conversation constantly in your head, you're less likely to speak, and then you're less likely to open yourself up to practice English and to prove to yourself that it's possible for you to communicate like you know how to communicate in your first language. And there's also the conversation that happens while you're speaking. Oh, why did you say that? No, don't say that. What did she say? Wait, focus on what you have to say next, because, and then there are all the thoughts that happen after speaking. That was not right. I should have said things differently. Oh, they probably think that I'm this. They probably think that I'm that. And all of that is so incredibly draining. And when that happens on a regular basis, and again, put yes in the comments if that has happened to you, whether it's the before, during, or after. So I want to see if I'm not making this up, if it's actually a real thing for some of you, just like overthinking and having those yes, no, should I not? Did I do it okay? Did I not? Like if you have that conversation in your head, not only that it's not serving you in the moment because it takes up all this brain space in your head, right? Instead of like you just thinking about what you want to say or acting on your impulse and speaking as you want or being present or listening, which is what, think of your first language, like how you communicate. Do you have those thoughts? Sometimes, and for some people, yes, absolutely. And sometimes we are judged in our first language as well, or feel judged or feel evaluated. But in the second language, it is so much more prevalent. So all of that takes up all the space that is preventing you from using the English that you already know, preventing you from being fluent, which is like a self-fulfilling prophecy of you saying to yourself, oh, I'm not going to be able to communicate clearly. And just the thought of it prevents you from communicating clearly. So that alone is preventing you from advancing, right? But think about it. When you have those thoughts, negative thoughts, what type of emotion do you think it generates? What type of experience does it create? A positive one? Probably not. And you know that. If you've ever experienced anxiety or fear or frustration or resistance or lack of motivation or feeling crippled and inhibited in your English practice while speaking, it is a result not of your English. And yes, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't improve your English or work and learn more. Absolutely, especially if you feel like you don't have a lot of experience using it. But like I said, sometimes you do all that and you're still not seeing progress. And then, it is something that we need to observe and explore, because all of those thoughts that you think that it's just the reality of speaking a second language, it is not, by the way. But let's say you say to yourself, that's just how it is affecting your experience in English and is the cause for all those negative emotions that you're experiencing. And when you're experiencing all those negative emotions, what happens then? You're less likely to speak. You are less likely to show up. You are less likely to take action, to practice, to feel motivated, to feel joy communicating. You start associating negative emotions to English. And again, that might not be relevant for everyone. And if that's not the case for you, that is amazing and good for you. And let us know in the comments so we can celebrate you. But if you have a negative emotion that is associated and you lose motivation frequently, even though you know you need to improve your English and you know what you need to do, then the issue is not the English. The issue is how you show up and the patterns that exist in your brain that are a result of your experience learning English, your environment, what society tells you, right? This crazy demand of everyone to feel like they have to be perfect to succeed and to be accepted. And unless we address that, and unless we solve that inside our brain and our heart, so that we are not in a constant need to prove ourselves all the time and to please everyone and to get, like good feedback, not necessarily. Like, how about you feel good about yourself? You telling yourself, I did well, regardless of the outcome. Because when you switch those negative thoughts and emotions into positive ones, you are a lot more likely to succeed and to thrive, and most importantly, to enjoy the fact that you're communicating in a second language. How about changing the record that's playing in your head to a record that is a lot more positive and optimistic and allows you to see all the opportunities that are out there and not use them as obstacles or as barriers that limit you from fulfilling yourself, from showing up fully, from doing what you want, from accomplishing your dreams. I've been teaching English since 2008. And I've had quite a lot of experience. And over the first few years of my teaching, I have noticed that, I only focused on the theory, right? And getting it right and the speak like a native aspect and all of that. That's what I was focusing on. And I used to get my students great results. Don't get me wrong. They would advance and improve and progress, but they never had that breakthrough where they would be like, I feel totally free. They would feel better. They would sound better, but they always had that energy, like that sound inside of them telling them that it's not enough. And then they didn't feel like they were enough. And then something happened. And actually, it had nothing to do with my teaching. It had to do with my personal development, because in 2019, I started going deeper into personal development and mindset work and life coaching. And I have learned a lot of things that I was not aware of, especially in how I think about things and how I think about myself as a business owner and about my business. And I realized that I was afraid to do so many things because of a lot of limiting beliefs that I had about myself, about my ability, about my English, about the fact that I was, doing all of this alone. And I've started to put in more work and more awareness into how I think about things and into the patterns that I usually go to, especially when things get hard. And I started changing them with a few tools that I've learned. And that had an incredible impact on myself and on my business and in how I show up in English. Within a time frame of 1 year, I, started from like working on my own. I hired a bigger team. I started my podcast. I started training in different companies around the world and especially where I live. So I started doing a lot more. I was able to do that simply by making some shifts and rethinking how I address things and approach things. And as I was going through this myself, I started incorporating that in my teaching because I was like, this is so good. I mean, if it worked for me in my business, it has to work for my students in English because it's all the same thing. It's all about the fears and how we think about how people should perceive us and all of that good stuff, right? Obstacles are obstacles are obstacles, whether it's in your business, your relationships, your English, your career, whatever that is. And I started incorporating that. And all of a sudden, in addition to all this great work that my students were doing, all of a sudden, there was this joyful freedom that started emerging. People started connecting better because when you show up and when you do this work, you become more vulnerable and open and willing to change. And I've started seeing that breakthrough that I was so longing for. And of course, it made me change my perspective and my teaching and my focus and how I treat, like this idea of speaking perfectly. And that has changed significantly. If you've been following me for a little bit, you already know this. And I started incorporating it in my programs. So I have a program called New Sound that we launch twice a year. And there is an entire module about that. And then I thought to myself, wait, changing your mindset is more than just changing the specific, like just rethinking something and that's it, learning a concept and that's it. You have to put it to practice. It's changing a habit, right? Just like, getting in shape or changing your pronunciation or changing your diet. It requires repetition, consistency, being intentional, and awareness. And I said to myself, okay, how do I create an experience for the people who need it so that they can start changing their mindset on a regular basis, consistently, do this work daily, and also not to make it so consuming so that they want to resist it or avoid it or not do it. Because here's the interesting part about mindset. And I'm not going to keep it too long. I'm going to get to the point really quickly. Here's the thing about mindset. While pronunciation work, grammar, vocabulary, all of that requires repetition and work and time, right? You have to do it again and again and again and again. A mindset shift can happen in a split second. Sometimes you may have a realization and be like, oh my God, I never noticed that this has been holding me back all those years. That thought. And all of a sudden it makes sense. How come I always say no when people ask me to do something? Or how come I always avoid compliments or I deflect compliments, right? All of a sudden you're like, I've been having all these patterns because of this root cause and I didn't even know about it. And now I do. And then you start noticing it. And then you start changing it. So a mindset shift can happen in a split second. But to make it even more effective, you want to come back to that thought because the brain wants to go to old habits. And old habits is basically, in this context, your old thoughts and your old patterns and like those beliefs of English is hard and I'm not good enough and I'm going to sound funny and people are going to make fun of my accent. And you want to change those habits, thinking habits, with new habits, which is positive thoughts that make you want to take action and be empowered and all of that. So basically, you need to create new habits. And how do you do it? Consistency and repetition. So, and now I'm getting to the point where I tell you about my new program that is the outcome of everything that I told you and a lot more, which is a 30-day mini training designed for you to build those new thinking habits, designed for you to build a healthier mindset, a way of thinking that gets you excited about speaking, that is letting go of self-judgment and frustrations and the self-criticism that you often experience. And again, if this is not you, amazing. And I really hope that everyone watching this would be able to get to a point where they'd say to themselves, I don't need this, right? I don't need this work. I feel absolutely free in English, in whatever language I speak. The program that I've created called My English Mindset is composed of 30 daily lessons, mini lessons of 10 minutes every day. But in those 10 minutes, every day, I tackle a different obstacles that I've seen my student face over the last 12 years. And together, if you join it, We will identify, address, learn how to tackle, and overcome those challenges. And not only that, you'll be exposed to different perspectives and different obstacles and learn how to overcome them. Some are going to be more relevant, some are going to be less relevant. But as a whole, it creates like a complete solution for all the possible negative thoughts that you might be having and how to overcome them. And again, remember, awareness is key here, and an opportunity to replace those thoughts with more positive thoughts. My English mindset is the mindset that you want to develop in English. It's that freeing experience, non-judgmental, and proactive experience that this program is designed to offer you simply by listening to it every single day for 10 minutes. And there's also a prompt for 5 or 10 minutes at the end of each day. This program, once you get it, you have lifetime access, so you can listen to it again and again and again. You can listen to each episode a few times. You can go back and forth. There is a sequence. The idea is for you to go through each lesson every single day for 30 days, and then simply start over or come back to the lessons that are more significant or more relevant for you. This entire program, I wanted to make it super affordable. You have a link below if you want to check it out, and if you want to learn more about it. There's all the information with a list. Let me take you on a quick tour. Hold on. Inside the program, this is how it looks like, my English mindset. So basically, it's 30 different audio lessons, just audios, and a prompt. And as you can see, there are different lessons like thought and language, the possibilities, what is fluency, goals, what people think, the imposter syndrome, the destination versus the way. And there are like all these different lessons, different obstacles, different things that you might be facing. The belonging, how to deal with criticism, gratitude, comparison, staying focused, mistakes, taking action and building habits, self-integrity, embracing the journey, and more. Yes, that's it. And we just opened doors. So we've been working on it for quite a few months. And just recently, and by recently, I mean 54 minutes ago, we opened doors to this program. And I wanted to make it super affordable. So you get lifetime access to this program, and it's only $29 a month. Not a month, just $29, not a month. For good, for life. $29 for the entire program that you get lifetime access to. And you can think of it like $1 per training. And the idea is, again, is to surround yourself with the environment that you need to thrive intellectually. And that's it. Let me see if you have any questions. This is available right now. You can go to hadarshamish.com/mindset to read more about it, to look through the different lessons, to understand more what this is about. But before we wrap up, just a reminder, this is for you if you feel like there are things that limit your fluency, your confidence, you don't feel confident. If you want to feel more confident, you need to do a few things. One of them is to practice more and to speak more, but there are things that prevent you from practicing and speaking, and that is the fear or the resistance. So to allow you to do the things that you need to do to improve, learn effectively, practice, you need to build the confidence. You need to work on those limiting thoughts. You need to get rid of them or manage them. Okay, we're not going to get rid of them, but we'll learn how to manage them so they don't manage us. If you're not seeing the results that you want to see in your life, you have to ask yourself, why is that? And it all starts with how you think about things. And yes, there are circumstances, you not having time at all for yourself to practice and to learn, not living in an English-speaking country, even though you can practice online. There are a lot of reasons that you can say to yourself, okay, this is why I'm not advancing. Some of them are excuses, and some of them are legit reasons that you just have to navigate through if you still want to see this type of progress in your life and in your English. And the best part, when you do this mindset work, you start seeing results not just in your English, but in other areas as well. I'm going to tell you a story of one of my students who joined New Sound. New Sound is a more elaborate program with pronunciation work and mindset and fluency work and habit work. So there's more there. But one of the modules is about mindset. And usually that module is very impactful for most of my students going through the program. And she said, she was making a video. She was making a bunch of videos. And at the beginning of the program, she would not post. And if she would, it would be like very, she would speak quietly and with kind of like hesitation. And halfway into the program, she was making a video talking super fluently, super confidently, with a strong voice. And she said, I've been learning English for 12 years. And up until 3 months ago, I wasn't able to speak. I wasn't able to say more than 2 sentences together. And now I'm making these long videos. What happened here? Why did that happen to her? It's because it was not about her English. She has done the work. She worked, she studied, she practiced for 12 years. But she didn't have the confidence to show up and to speak. She was so overly critical. She was so fearful of what people would think. She also had a certain environment that did not encourage her, that made her feel small. And as a result, she was like, I can't speak. She thought it was her English. And all of a sudden, when she started working on her mindset, and that was the biggest shift for her, everything came out. All the work that she has done in the past poured out of her. And it has had nothing to do with any of the English work that she did in the program, because the transformation was serious, like really exponential. It was just the permission that she gave herself to speak, to express herself in English, and to show up without being so afraid of what people are going to think. That could happen to you too. If you feel that you've put in the work, but the result is not aligned with the work that you've put in, it could very much be because of the fact that there's so much going on here that is really blocking your ability to express yourself the way you deserve. So I really hope that My English Mindset, if you decide to join, is going to help you understand that, process that, tackle and identify some of the things that have been holding you back so that you can let go of all that crap and BS and start showing up like yourself in English. I'm inviting you to join. Go to hadarshemesh.com/mindset. It's $29. You get 30 different recordings, lifetime access with daily prompts to reflect on it. And I totally forgot, my God, if you join within the first week, because we just launched until the end of the week, you will also get to join 3 exclusive mindset live coaching with me. You can join 1, 2, or 3. You can also apply to work with me individually in a hot seat. And that is only available for the people who join within the first week. So until Friday, it's not even the first week, the next 5 days, 4 days. Okay. So if you want to join and get access to those 3 live coaching sessions, all about mindset, we're going to go deep. We're going to, I'm going to help you identify those things, work with people individually. And even if you don't get to work with me, it's so valuable to see these types of conversations. So you will get access to that for free if you join before Friday. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being so active in the chat. I'm going to go back and read the chat because I try to stay focused on what I'm saying, because every time I read the chat, I'm like, oh, so nice. So I had to stay concentrated. I'm not back in my 30s when I used to go live 5 years ago. I could do everything at the same time, but that's no longer possible for me. It's just reality, and I'm fine with it. I'm embracing my my inabilities. All right, my friends. Don't read comments and speak live at the same time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to go live now on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, come on over there. If you have any more follow-up questions, I'd be happy to answer them there. In the meantime, go explore hadarshemish.com/mindset. The link is in the comments and in the chat. Amar posted it all over the internet. All right, my friends, take care. See you soon and bye.